Yizzo, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now listen, man, you can tap in and you can tap out. But you know my slogan, and you know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now you already know time, energy, the highest forms of currency, my G. I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing that money, chasing that paper, stacking that cheese, that cheddar, and that mozzarella. But always keep it in the front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's, at all times. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Big salute to all my day one investors, everybody that's highly invested in the channel, everybody that understands that we are growing this channel organically, constant elevation gear. We on our way to the top, well over 50,000 subscribers, and we on our way to 60K. All right, even bigger salute to all my newcomers, all my new subscribers, all my new investors, everybody that's making their way to the Realest channel on YouTube. Yours truly, Grown Man Business TV, is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. All right, now do me a favor, my G's. Wipe off your feet before you step into the big house. You understand me? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube. Yours truly, Grown Man Business TV, is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You know how I'm giving it up, and you absolutely know how I'm putting it down, my G's. All right, now listen, man. I got a lot of people in the DM right now. Yo, Big G and BTV, what's your perspective on the whole situation with Charleston White? Yo, Big G and BTV, what's your thought process on everything that's going on with Charleston White? And I gotta say, man, absolutely nasty work. See, one thing for sure, two things for certain. Everybody puts a spotlight on Charleston White when he's wilding out, when he's saying the most outlandish things, right? But nobody really outlines and, puts a spotlight and puts attention on the times where Charleston White is dropping gems. Okay, now I got a lot of people in the DM, females especially, on this particular topic with Charleston White, which is why I'm gonna give my attention to it, which is why I'm gonna speak to it. You know what I'm saying? Charleston White, very wise old head, right? At the same time, he's been compromised by the higher ups and the elites. You know what I'm saying? One thing for sure, two things for certain. I gotta keep it funky. I gotta keep it 100. You already know we do not sugarcoat the content. Charleston White is a very knowledgeable and informative OG, but he has walked through the door. He has been compromised by them little hat people. You understand what I'm saying? So looking at these gems that he's dropping, I definitely want to speak to it. And I thought that it was interesting that a lot of women are asking about this clip and wanting my feedback and my thought process, you know what I'm saying? And just my perspective on what he's saying. All right. So we're going to talk about this, man. One thing for sure, two things for certain. I talk about this all the time. Purpose, right? Purpose. Chase your purpose and the women that chase you. Chase your purpose and your husband will find you. Chase your purpose and you ain't got to chase the money because the money will chase you. Now, I said three things. I want y'all to make sure y'all put that in y'all mental Rolodex. I want you to make sure y'all take that with y'all before I get up out of here tonight, all right? If you chase your purpose, the women will chase you. Women, if you chase your purpose, your husband will find you, right? And if everybody chases their purpose at the same time, you ain't got to chase the money because the money will chase you. You know what I mean? Everybody, yo, I'm chasing a bag. I'm getting after a bag. Everybody is chasing behind something that they can't seem to catch. Everybody is chasing something. I'm a paper chaser. I'm a bag chaser. I'm chasing that paper, right? When in all actuality, we shouldn't be chasing nothing. You feel what I'm saying? We are made in the image of, we control our reality. So we really shouldn't be chasing nothing. We actually should be making whatever we chasing chase us. And the word is purpose. All right. That's one of the main downloads that downloaded when I seen this particular receipt that we gonna get into. And again, I got a lot of love for Charleston White because Charleston White reminds me of the OGs out in VA, out in the country that talk that talk. You know what I mean? I learned a lot from them OGs. I got a lot of game from them old heads, the OGs out there in Virginia, in the country. You feel what I'm saying? They really help shape and mold my style and my delivery, right? But Charleston White is the one that made it into the light. He walked into the door. Charleston White is that old head from the country that got a lot of game, but he used it to manipulate the algorithm. And at the same time, he got caught up. He got caught up in the web. You feel me? And I'm gonna talk about that. Big salute to Charleston White. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, regardless on how it go down. Charleston White definitely dropped some gems. All right, so we gonna get into this, and you already know, man. Before I get into this situation, right? Before I give y'all this pure dope straight off the brick directly into the bottles, I got to do some customizations to the chat. Yeah, I got to customize the chat. The higher ups and the elites are playing chess at the highest level. The higher ups and the elites are always trying to muffle the message, shadow ban the channel. The higher ups and the elites understand that Grown Man Business TV is an absolute threat to the algorithm and a threat to the establishment. Not only am I a threat, my G, but they know the revolution will be televised right here in these YouTube streets. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can like it or love it. All right, so I'm going to do some customizations to the chat. Well over 100 in here. We not staying long. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button when y'all come in. A lot of people was in the DM asking about the last live stream. As soon as I got off that live stream, the downloads spoke to me, and they were loud and clear. Take that live stream down. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want it to look like I was bullying homie or trying to harass homie. And, in these YouTube streets, your dialogue can be taken out of context. And I can't afford no smoke. And then I thought about it like this, right? That download was fun, but it wasn't powerful. It wasn't powerful. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to waste a lot of time. I don't know. It just felt like a waste. And as soon as I took that download down, as soon as I took that live stream off my page, I got like 14 different DMs about Charleston White. You know what I mean? Yo, can you please just give your perspective on this situation with CW? And yeah, this one was a little bit more heavier. The download really heavy when it's worth talking about. You feel what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. If anybody's looking for that 1090 Jake live, I took it down. No worries. We gonna keep it funky. We gonna keep the content nice and potent. But the office still stands. Just in case, you know what I mean? I will take that fade for sure. Now listen, man, you see that right there at the bottom of the chat, right? You see that right there at the bottom of the chat. Before you get in here with your Twitter fingers, using your Twitter fingers to do the Twittering with your Twitter fingers and all of that, using your Twitter fingers all in the comment section, doing the Twittering away with your Twitter fingers. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear for yours truly, Grown Man Business TV, the realest channel on YouTube. You already know what it is. All right, let's get into this, man. Now, I got a flight, a red eye. I'm gonna be on a flight tonight, so this is not gonna be a long live stream. Clean hour of power is what we gonna do here, and then I gotta get on the road. So, big salute to the chat. CW, right now, Charleston White recently did a podcast where he was just dropping a lot of game as he always does. One thing for sure, two things for certain. If he went through the door or not, I can't take away the fact that CW is still dropping game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of game he putting on the ground for the hungry hounds. If you hungry enough, you can see through the smoke and mirrors. You can see through all the cosplay, all the acting, right? And you can pick up those gems. And in this particular clip, right? I'm guessing it's going viral. I hadn't seen it, but a lot of people, like I said, they sent it to me. Yo, we need you to speak on this. I'm going to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get right to it. And like I said before, when I looked at this clip, the first thing that came to me was purpose. You know what I'm saying? And, your purpose is very, very important. It's really the most important thing. They don't, the educational system we already know is flawed, right? So the majority of the things that they teach us or they feed us, like I told you before, you got to get old enough and get wise enough to reverse everything. So they want you to go to school. They want you to become educated. They want you to go to college so you can get a great job and you can work within the matrix, right? So if that's what they feeding you, then the opposite of that is literally finding your purpose. You understand? Going after whatever your purpose is on this planet. Because obviously, the college, the corporate America is set in place to make you forget what your purpose is and become a slave to the establishment, become a slave to the matrix. Your purpose is most important. And a lot of the times, you know, we relate chasing your purpose and we connect that to men, right? You know, a man should be chasing his purpose. It's almost like a woman's intuition when they label it a certain way so that the other sex doesn't feel like they have a purpose. Well, a man chases his purpose. A woman is a helpmate, right? So she don't have a purpose. Her purpose is to help the man find his purpose. That's something I feel like they altered. That's some of that knowledge in that good book that I feel like I believe they tweaked that. You know what I'm saying? That dog fur. That dog fur has always had a certain level of fear of a female and a woman's power. The dog fur, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why white men did not let women vote until like 1980, 1978 or something like that. In the 70s or the 80s, women were able to vote. It's a reason why white men made women stay in the kitchen. That's a Caucasian thing. You know what I'm saying? Keeping a female pregnant and barefoot and in the kitchen. You know, that didn't come from, you know, the melanated people. We always praised our queens. We always elevated our queens. We always, you know, we had queens that ran empires. But white men, respectfully, the dog fur, they've always had a secret underlying fear for the power of women. So yeah, they tweaked that in that good book. They tweaked it. A man should chase his purpose and a woman should help. Nah, it go both ways. You understand what I'm saying? If these women were chasing their actual purpose, then their husbands would be searching for them. Their husbands would actually find them. But again, they got these women distracted with Sexy Red, you know, Glorilla, you know, Moose Knuckles, Cardi B, right? Not Megan Thee Stallion driving a boat. They got these women obsessed with showing they body on Instagram, right? Popping pussy on the headstand. Yeah. Twerking at the red light. They got women focused on everything that will distract them from their purpose. You understand what I'm saying? So again, the main word is purpose. Y'all already know I keep the receipts. I don't go nowhere without the receipts. I want y'all to listen to CW, and then I'm going to just break down what he's saying. I'm going to just dissect what he's saying because he's right, and I agree with CW on the most of what he's saying. But then I want to kind of give some clarity to some of it, right? And I want to be a balance. I want to be a balance because I haven't walked through the door. CW has walked through the door. You know, I'm very informative. Charleston White is very informative. The only difference is he's compromised. He has bended, break, and folded for the higher ups and the elites. Aiden Ross had him out there in Vegas, yeah, popping pussy on the headstand, yeah, partaking in homos. Yeah, we already know. So I want to let him talk, and then we're going to break this thing down. Big salute to the chat. Hit the like button when y'all come in here. We not staying long. One quick hour of power, and then I got a flight to make, all right? Big salute.
Way to a man's heart is through his belly. Yeah. A man will fuck a hole in the ground and not love it, and you'll get stuck on what he loves. A man ain't moved by love. You are. A man is moved by security. That's why he go over there, because she let him do anything and don't complain about nothing. When the Bible says it is much better for a man to sleep on his roof top than to live in the house with a nagging woman. Where you been? Where you going? Nigga, I ain't been home in 2 years. I ain't gonna talk to my wife in a year. I had a car wreck me and answer the phone. Because just the other day she was fucking me about, do I have another baby? Bitch, you listen to what I'm saying online. No, I ain't had no other baby. Bitch lost a baby. But you listen to what I'm saying. You don't know what I'm saying. But if I come home, the dishes ain't clean, the house ain't right. But you focusing on what I'm doing as a man, I ain't gonna talk to you probably for another year and keep fucking with my little hoe. I got the kind of money to do that. You keep asking for money. You ain't stop asking for money. I realize they just want money. When you ain't got money, they want you asking the house broke, nigga. With that good dick and that good mouth you spreading out. Where you going? Good dick can't be unaccounted for. You ain't come straight home from work. You ain't come straight home from work. But when you get home, it ain't nothing to meet your needs as a man but some pussy. So now, nigga, I don't bow to the woman. Nothing supersedes the purpose. No man should be home every night. And he got a purpose in life. He go home every night to do what? Comfort her needs. Because she have a special relationship with the devil. You got a special relationship with God. That's why in the Bible, she never talked to God. God never talked to her. He went and talked to God on his own. She stayed back and talked to the devil. That's why she overthinks, because the devil torments your mind. He can't get in your heart. He don't know he torments the mind to condition the heart. Thought, well, I had a dream. Bitch, why you can't dream I won the lottery? You dream out of a chick, bitch, why you can't ever dream nothing good? Because the devil is talking to you. If you talk to God, you can't hear the devil. If you focus on your spirit, woman, you can't hear the devil. But man, nigga, but we got a special relationship with God. That's why you got to get away from her. Every day you got to get away from her. The devil talk through her, not through you. That's why you go lay with her and talk. I don't say shit to a bitch. I just put dick in her, nigga. So I don't say nothing to serpent, nigga. I talk to God about my motherfucking self. I don't tell her nothing, nigga. My woman don't know nothing, nigga. She don't know nothing, nigga. I keep it between me and God, because the devil talks to her when I'm not there. It's in the Bible. The first. And nowhere in the Bible does God speak to a woman. What?
Whew. All right. Now, CW, he said a lot, right? And I'm gonna play this over, and then we just gonna break this thing down, right? And I see you in the chat. Yeah, we gonna talk about his old lady. We're gonna talk about his wife. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be something that's a download that was heavy on my shoulders as well. We're gonna speak to that. But before I play this over and we go ahead and get into it, I just want to say this, right? When you sitting in a room full of men that don't read the Bible, they don't know the word, right? They don't really know, they're not knowledgeable on like real grown man business, real grown man conversations. They got all the jewelry on, they got the money, they got the look, right? They got this whole giddy up, right? This rapper, costume on, right? So it looked like they know something, because in this day and age, as long as you got some money, everybody think you know something. As long as you look like you got some money, everybody will listen to you. They will pay attention. So a dude like Charleston White in a room like this is dangerous. It's really dangerous, because these grown ass men are very, very susceptible to be misled, because they don't know nothing. All they know is get a big ass chain, get some money. So when you put a knowledgeful man amongst these type of dudes, it's easy to mislead them. You know what I'm saying? So again, a lot of the stuff that CW said was dead on, and we gonna speak to that. But there was a few things that he said that was a little bit off and should have been challenged. You know what I'm saying? But these not the type of dudes that can challenge a CW. I would love to have been in that room where I could have like interjected on a few things that CW was saying, and then we could have had a real dialogue, because I know something and he knows something. So before we go any further, I just want to say, don't let the jewelry and this whole makeup fool you. A lot of y'all get fooled when a nigga look like he got some money, or a nigga got a big ass chain on, shit full of moistenites. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't care. It's a big chain. He got you know what I'm saying? Nigga got the rollie on, and y'all just fall for it. And that's why CW is so powerful, because the majority of the men that we run across, they don't even know the word. They don't even know the word to even be able to challenge the word. All right? We get biblical over here at Grown Man Business TV. Big salute. 300 in the chat. Hit the like button and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's why in due time I realized that knowing the word is powerful. The devil knew the word. The serpent, the evils, even the Satan, if that's what you want to call it, even Satan knows the word of the Most High. And he could use that same word to mislead you. So how you don't know the word? You know what I'm saying? The Most High is the word. Satan knows the word, and you don't even look in so you lost. All right. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. Big salute to CW, because he said some powerful shit. But let's get into this. Big salute. Let's get into the first quarter of this clip, and then we gonna interject. All right. Big salute.
Way to a man's heart is through his belly. Yeah. A man will fuck a hole in the ground and not love it. and you'll get stuck on what he loves. A man ain't moved by love. You are. A man is moved by security.
I want to stop him right there, right? Again, easy interjection, easy challenge. Men are not moved by security. Women are moved by love. He's right by that. A woman wants you to love her. She want to fall in love. Most women want the Cinderella story. They want to fall in love. But women also yearn security. They want a man they want to feel protected. They want to feel secure. That's a female trait. You understand what I'm saying? Men, we move off of respect. So I would have kind of challenged CW. Men don't move off security. We don't look for women to secure us. That's not something that come in makeup of a man. Women do. Women look for security. They look to be secure with their man or their husband. Men, we move off respect. We don't fall in love. We don't fall for security. The way to a man's heart is not through his stomach, it's through respect. As long as you respect your man to the utmost when he's around and when he's not around. You know what I'm saying? You can get close to a nigga by cooking for him. Yeah. Yeah, you cook them sweet potato pies and all that. You can get real close to a man's heart by cooking for him. But if you a disrespectful bitch after you cook, that shit don't mean nothing. If you cook all this food and then a nigga go in your DM and you talking to other niggas, you disrespecting them. That cooking don't mean nothing. You could cook a goddamn Thanksgiving dinner, and then after we get done eating, you get to arguing, disrespecting a man, and now that Thanksgiving dinner don't mean nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So most people think, oh, you get the way to a man's heart through his stomach. That was a lie. That was a lie. If the food don't come with respect and being made with respect and love, the shit ain't gonna mean nothing. We'll still eat the food, but it don't mean nothing. The only way a man feels love is through respect. You know what I'm saying? When you got a beautiful woman, a gorgeous, powerful woman, a queen that respects you to the utmost, that's love for a man. That's the way you show love to a man. All right. So again, these dudes don't know that. They listening to CW, that shit sound good, and it is true to a certain extent. But when you having dialogue with somebody else that know what you know and is informative as you are, then we can really have a conversation. Other than that, you just got a bunch of boys listening to a man talk. CW is a man. These niggas is boys. All right. So men yearn for respect. That's it. Everything else comes behind that. I wouldn't give a fuck if you got $1 million. You could be Oprah Winfrey. But if you a disrespectful female, if you give me $1 million and then say you broke ass nigga, I had to give you, I don't want the million. I don't want the money. So it don't matter if you got money. It don't matter if you can cook. It don't matter what you are. If respect don't follow first, and if disrespect follows after, you're done. All right? Go ahead, CW.
That's why he go over there, because she let him do anything and don't complain about nothing. When the Bible says it is much better for a man to sleep on his rooftop than to live in the house with a nagging woman. Where you been? Where you going? Nigga, I ain't been home in 2 years. I ain't gonna talk to my wife in a year. I had a car wreck me and answer the phone. Because just the other day she was fucking me about, do I have another baby? Bitch, you listen to what I'm saying online. No, I ain't had no other baby. Bitch lost the baby. But you listen to what I'm saying. You don't know what I'm saying. But if I come home, the dishes ain't clean, the house ain't right. But you focusing on what I'm doing as a man, I ain't gonna talk to you probably for another year and keep fucking with my little hoe.
Now I want to stop CW right there, right? CW said his wife is nagging. Now again, mixing the truth with some bullshit, right? In that Bible, right? In the word, it does say that. It is better for a man to sleep on the roof of his house than to sleep in a house with a nagging wife. Not even just a nagging wife, a female that is like on her menstrual cycle is saying that book, you ain't supposed supposed to sleep in the house with a female while she's on that menstrual cycle. But that's a whole nother live stream. That's a whole nother download. So CW is delivering some truth. It say that. It do say that. You know what I'm saying? It's better for a man not to be in the house than to be in the house with a woman that's going like nag, right? But then he said his old lady be nagging him. You know what I'm saying? His old lady be questioning him, and she be asking him about things she's seeing on the internet, X, Y, and Z. And that's what I wanted to speak to for a few minutes, right? When I first started watching Charleston White, before he was like really internet famous, before he had walked through the door, before he been compromised, when he used to come on live, he would show all his guns, right? And he used to really have like the nigga nation situation going on. Charleston White used to get up in the morning, go live, and his wife would be cooking breakfast. They would be laughing, they would be joking, they would be just having a good old time. And see, believe it or not, that's one of the things that really attracted me to CW. The fact that he could sit there with his wife, laugh and joke, and she would cook a gourmet breakfast. Every time we seen him, the nigga was eating bacon, grits, eggs, pancakes, yeah. And that's really something that I respected about CW. Not just that, but the stories he told about his wife. You know what I'm saying? How when he was broke, his wife used to send him money. When he was in California, his wife sent him like $10,000 so he could get a car and get on his feet. You understand what I'm saying? How his wife drives crude oil for the government, and she used to make $20,000 a month. That big ass house we used to see Charleston White in, that's because of his wife. Those cars we used to see Charleston White in, how Charleston White was when he was on the come up. He was very appreciative of his wife. And then when Charleston White got this money and he got the real fame and the fortune, and he went through the door of the higher ups and the elites, I watched him turn on his wife. So like, again, these dudes in this room obviously don't know Charleston White like that, to know, like, to be able to question or challenge that. Now you got this money. Now you talking crazy. You got the little side joint. Every time I see CW with one of them little Instagram joints, it's like, nah, man, that shit nasty work. It ain't like when I see other dudes and I be like, yeah, look, he doing his thing. Look at homie. Yeah, I see you, homie. When I see Charleston White old ass with them little Instagram models, knowing he had an old lady that helped him get to stardom. She basically financed this nigga to get to the level that he's at. To see how he moving now is nasty work. That's nasty work. That's not a nagging wife. You know what I'm saying? See, again, right? A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man will learn from the mistakes of others. And if you ask me, that is a mistake. That is a huge mistake Charleston made. Trading in his old lady for these little Instagram thoughts I be seeing him with. And then talking about money like he came from money. Nah, shorty, shorty put you in position. Charleston White wife is the lady that was in the barber shop when that man bust Charleston in the head with that gun. And Charleston was hiding behind that lady, and that lady put her life on the line for Charleston. She stood in between Charleston White and a goddamn hooligan with a big ass revolver gun that just was about to do something to Charleston. He forgot all about that when he got the paper, when he got fame and a fortune. He forgot all about that. You understand what I'm saying? See, the higher ups and the elites peeped that in Charleston. He's a very powerful and knowledgeable man, but that nigga's weak. He's weak. And once the higher ups and the elites peeped the weakness in the rap game, they sold it. Oh yeah, word to Tupac Shakur. Once the higher ups and the elites peeped the weakness in Charleston White, they sold it. And this is why we got the Charleston White with all the big ass chains and all that, with all the watches and all the fake jewelry and all the bullshit. Because we already know the majority of this shit is moissanite. It's lab diamond. They just use it to fool you. into playing the role and playing the position and believe in the hype. They fool you niggas when y'all see all these big ass chains, all these big ass watches. Y'all just automatically think it's real. Y'all believe the hype. Y'all become followers. Charleston White is an agent, respectfully, but he got game. So when he was talking about this, and I'm gonna let him talk a little bit more, it was like, I've been wanting to say this. One of the only reasons I ever rock with Charleston is because of the way his wife used to laugh when he was in her presence. That, like, I used to say to myself, I want that. I'm gonna make sure, like, I need that part. Like the way his wife used to be like, she used to just be laughing, boy. He would, and then what Kanye say? And when you get on, you lead again for a white girl. Get down, girl. Go ahead, get down. Yeah, Charleston White running around with the dog fur. Nasty ass dog fur having joints that wouldn't have paid this nigga no mind if he had that money. All right, so again, if I would have been in a room with Charleston, I would have been like, bro, you talking about the same lady that used to cook you all them breakfasts and all that? Have you in there eating big ass breakfasts? The same lady that had that big ass house that you couldn't pay for because she was getting all the money, 20,000 a month. You was broke as a joke, nigga. You talking about this? That's not nagging. That's betrayal, my G. Yeah, that's betrayal. All right, go ahead and talk to the people, CW. Look,
I got the kind of money to do that. You keep asking for money. You ain't stop asking for money. I realize they just want money. When you ain't got money, they want you asking half broke, nigga. With that good dick and that good mouth you spreading out. Where you going? Good dick can't be unaccounted for.
now he got the money to do that. That's something I'm not. That's something I see again. A queen is going to, in her purpose, right? Somewhere in her purpose is to elevate the king, protect the king. That's why his old lady jumped in front of that gun the way she did. That's why when she was getting 20,000 a month, she was putting them in position to get to the next level. I told y'all, a wife, one of the qualities of a wife is that she is going to multiply whatever you bring to the table. So Charleston White, his old lady was multiplying whatever he was bringing to the table. His charisma, his tenacity, his hustle. She was funding that. But see, these little Instagram thoughts you see him around with, they don't help multiply nothing. Cause they not wives. They not his wife. You feel what I'm saying? So a woman and a wife in her purpose is going to elevate you, bro. It is second nature. Even in her elevating herself, she gonna elevate you. That's why I say, right? A woman purpose is not to do whatever and be a helpmate and just do whatever a nigga tell him to do. That's not a woman. That's not a queen. That's not a Nefertiti. That's a lie from the dog for putting that book. That's one of those sentences they tweaked. That's one of those lies they hid the truth behind. A woman purpose is not to just help you do. Nah, nigga. A woman elevating, if your wife elevate in any way, she gonna elevate you. All right? But again, listen how CW talking now, because he done walked through the door. Oh, all they want is money. All they want, blah, blah. I will say this, right? Something he just said as well that was truth. When you on the come up, right? It's a delicate balance with women, with a wife, with an old lady, with a girlfriend, whatever. Because most women is going to tell you, all women, they're going to tell you, I want you to be rich. I want you to go to the next level. I want you to, achieve your goals. But a lot of the times they don't really mean that. Your girl and your wife are going to tell you, yo, go get it, get money, get rich. But really, a lot of the times, they really don't want you to get rich. They would rather you be not dead broke, but in a position where you need them to a certain extent, because that helps them. That makes them feel like they're doing what they're supposed to do. You understand? Because money brings options. See, deep down inside, a lot of women really don't want you to go too high up on the totem pole. They don't want you to get too much money because they know what come with money. A lot, respectfully, right? We all think we know what come with money until we get some money. And then you see what come with this shit. The options, the availability. Women know that other women come with money. CW got some money. Look at the women that's around him now. And it really take a strong man. It take a king. It take God body to get the money and still keep your bitch close. To get the money, keep your bitch or your wife or whatever, keep her under your wing and deflect all the scattered ass that's gonna be thrown at you. You know what I'm saying? It take a king, it take real God body to do that, to display a level of discipline. See, that level of discipline is what will open the floodgates of fortune, money, riches. A lot of y'all, a lot of us, a lot of men will never reach their potential because the Most High know you're not disciplined enough to go up there. You're not disciplined enough for that type of blessing. I could bless you. I could bless you with this, but I can't bless you with that. I can't bless you with that. Because if you go up there, you're gonna lose it. You're not disciplined enough. Nah, not like me. Listen, I came across the paper. I know what it mean. Come across $250,000. You know what I'm saying? 700, 600 some $1,000 house. I know what it mean to get across that paper, but I know what it also mean to have discipline enough to keep my. That's why I'm going on 10 years of marriage now. That first 10 years is a test, my G. That's why a lot of people don't make it. They don't make it to that milestone of 10 years of marriage. The majority of marriages end way before 10 years because somewhere discipline. CW and me, you know what I'm saying? I would love to have a conversation with him. And I'm not down in Charleston. I'm just able to see, I'm a wise man. I'm able to see him go through the door and see like, oh shit, nah. Goes to the door, you get some of this paper and you start touching this and you start touching that. It's a way to do it. Charleston White would be a threat to the establishment if he flaunted his wife. If Charleston White got this money, got this fame and his fortune, and all he did was walk around and show his wife off, talk about his marriage, get those home cooked meals he used to get, that nigga would be dangerous. That boy would be dangerous. Yeah, they gonna definitely try to block me. If I was talking about 1090 Jake, if I was talking about this, that, Mano, or they let me get a clean 20,000, 40,000 views. But when I'm trying to give y'all some game, it get choppy, but it's all good. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. If Charleston White was still with his wife, flaunting his wife in public, respecting his wife, if Charleston White got all this money, fame, and fortune, and he still showed his wife the utmost respect, those low hat people wouldn't be rocking with him. He would be a threat to the establishment. They probably would assassinate him. They probably would assassinate his character. He might be in jail for something. Go ahead and talk to the people, CW. Look.
You ain't come straight home from work. You ain't come straight home from work. But get home, it ain't nothing to meet your needs as a man but some pussy. So now, nigga, I don't bow to the woman. Nothing supersedes the purpose. No man should be home every night.
I agree with him on that.
And you got a purpose in life.
I agree with him on that. You know, nothing supersedes nothing. Nothing supersedes the purpose on both ends for the woman and the man. not just a man. If your wife ain't got no purpose, man, she ain't that. She ain't that. Again, I'm going to use CW as an example. This man had a wife that was making over $20,000 a month driving crude oil out there in Texas for the military. A lot. All it does is let me know that the voice is still powerful. All it do is it let me know that the voice is still more powerful than CNN. The voice is still more powerful than Fox News. My voice is more powerful than DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God playing butt tag on your everyday radio, and the Breakfast Club and all that. Certified, it reinsures me that the voice is still powerful. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. They don't like when I talk to y'all like this. They don't like when I reach in my bag and I go back into what I'm into. They love when I give y'all that celebrity talk, that celebrity gossip. They love that. This right here,